Here we go. We have Staten Island royalty in the building.
Oh, Mr. Vlad, what's going on? How you doing, sir?
Hey, Shyheim, welcome to VladTV.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, man. I appreciate the love, man, from day one. You know that.
Of course, man, of course. And you just got out from doing a bid, and we're going to get into that part of the story.
Yeah.
But since this is really your first time on VladTV, I really want to get into your whole story,
Okay. Yeah.
starting from the beginning.
Okay.
So you grew up in Staten Island.
Yep.
Okay.
Born and raised, Staten Island native.
And you had a pretty hard upbringing as a kid.
Well, I mean, considering having a big record deal, aside from that, yeah, it was rough. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, in the hood, especially in the late '80s, early '90s, it was a different time.
Oh yeah, I mean you were born in 1979, so in the 80s with crack hitting the US and hitting Staten Island, you were kind of in the epicenter of all that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, a lot of my parents and a lot of my friends' parents, they fell victim to, crack cocaine and things like that. And today that would be considered like Molly and K2. You know what I'm saying? So this is just, an epidemic that keeps, you know, attacking our neighborhoods, and our people is falling victim to it.
Well, you talked about how your dad was in prison a lot.
Yeah, my dad did a few long stretches, yeah.
Like, what was the longest stretch he did?
Oh, just put it like this. Before I came home myself, me and my dad haven't seen each other in 20 years.
Wow,
You know, wow.
that's rough. And you talked about how your mom had issues with drugs as well growing up.
Yeah. My mom, she battled a drug addiction for many years in my life. So you get to understand as you get older, you know, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially my mom's was a teenage mom. You know what I'm saying? She had me. She was very young, 16 years old. So she didn't quite have it together herself. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I got my first record deal, she was only about 30. So you got to figure, having a kid who then becomes famous and you're only 30. We just figured it out at 30. You know what I'm saying? So it just made me have a different respect and an understanding for her and the things that she struggled with.
Right, and you're an only child,
Yes. My
like
mom's only
myself.
self, yes. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you didn't have to
yeah,
share that one little remote control call with the wire. It gets difficult with that.
yeah, yeah. Only child. We kind of have our own little perspective on the world.
Yeah.
But who was actually raising you? You have this young mom who's having issues with drugs. Dad's in prison. I mean, were your grandparents helping out or
Well,
relatives?
well,
Or
my grandparents was around till I was about 11. Then my grandmother, and my grandparents died. So after that, it was just like neighborhood, man. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time hanging out with the Prince Rakeem, and it became and RNS. They became like my family, and the clan and stuff hanging around them. That became my family.
okay. And what a lot of people don't realize is you actually got your record deal before Wu-Tang got their deals.
Yeah. Actual
Okay.
fact. I signed to Virgin Records, and it actually was a big bidding war because Virgin had lost Tevin Campbell to Warner Brothers, and they wasn't trying to lose me to Benny Medina as well. So yeah, it was pretty intense bidding war, and back then to have the type of record deal that I had back then as a new artist was pretty much unheard of.
Right, because I guess your first record deal was like 350,000,
Correct, yeah.
and you were 13 at the time.
Well, when I signed, I was that age, but I had to go through the court system and what I'm saying, Supreme Court and things of that nature before they could actually release an album.
Right, because there were some laws in place to kind of protect child stars from their parents taking all their money.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So things was half of my earnings was put in a trust fund until the age of 21. So that was a good thing for the law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm sure if, I mean, you're talking about a family who is underprivileged, has never really seen a lot of money,
Oh
to
yeah.
be given a big bag like that at that point, like
Oh,
they're just gonna go crazy with it.
yeah, it gets crazy. I remember my first time I got a check, and I went. It's like I was walked out with like $30,000 in my pocket. I'm like, yo, we going, me, my cousins, and everybody, we going downtown Fulton shopping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to wear hand me downs no more. People thought it was the style, but I was wearing big clothes because it wasn't mine.